Hi folks, Lance from Runtime. As part of my journey to build an enterprise server for our business, I'm going to showcase to you now the software that I was considering using on the hardware for the virtualization, the NAS capabilities that I needed for the enterprise server. Unfortunately, as I went down this path of discovery, I found that this software was not going to be right. And I'm going to share that knowledge with you guys. I'm going to share the reasons why I think this is not right for me. It might be right for you. If you're running a home lab, it's perfect. This software is called Unraid. I actually compared this with a lot of other hypervisors out there, the enterprise hypervisors, and also the open source hypervisors out there. You really need to talk to your use case. In my use case, I needed high availability, I needed redundancy, and I needed the ability to be able to easily operate that virtualization environment, including very easy and simple ways of securing the integrity of the data, i.e. backups. I went with a different piece of software, which I'm going to be showcasing in part 3, but this is part 2 talking about this software, which is Unraid. It also has virtualization built in using KVM. So you get the best of both worlds, but it's not really good for enterprise, mainly because the way that it handles the containers and the VMs, and also there really isn't any real clustering capability for high availability, and the backups, they're also not really lending themselves to an enterprise environment. I'm going to quickly go through some of the functionalities on Unraid, because just to show you guys, it is a really good piece of software for home use, for a home lab. I love this clean interface, black and white, minimalistic, colors are great, font selection is awesome. I know this is really just a user interface, and who cares really, you can do it from the command line, but really I'm a GUI kind of guy. I need it to be rock solid on the back end though, but I am a GUI kind of guy, and I do like good aesthetics. So really well put together, really well thought through. What they've done is also to make it easy for you to containerize applications, or even get containers off the internet, which have been already packaged. They've built themselves into the software. They built an app store. So let's go to the app store first. I'm just going to zoom in here, and I'm going to just show you guys what the App Store looks like. So you get your main, it also shows you your array. They call it array, spinning disks or NVMEs. They are going to be showing up here. And you can see I've only got one, which is an NVMe drive, but here you would have also spinning drives as well. Now this also supports RAID as well. So with the array, the beauty of the array is really good when it comes to failure of any of the disks. So with a parity drive, if any one of those disks fails, you can simply take the disk out, put a new disk in, and you're back online. The only downside is that the parity bit has to be rebuilt, or the data drive that you've put back in has to be rebuilt, and that can take a bloody long time. For a 6 terabyte drive, which I had, it took over 14 hours to rebuild that drive, which is fine, but it does take a long time. So that's another one of those niggly things that didn't really work for me when it comes to an enterprise solution. So that's one issue. Great for home use, because normally, you can turn it off, turn it on, and you don't really care if it fails over, because it's not mission critical. Very well put together. I like this idea of these buttons. Very, very clever. Like I said, it's aesthetically great, but there are some flaws in it when it comes to enterprise. You got your shares here. Now these are the sort of shares that I told you about. These are all the shares available on your network, and you can actually make them available on your network. You can also specify where the information will be held. It will either be held in cache, which will probably be on your highest speed medium, which will be an SSD drive. And then you can say, well, at the end of the day or a certain time, you then move that data onto the spinning disk. So it's a really good way of optimizing your hardware. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of this particular software, because there's loads of different videos out there on the internet you guys can check out. I just wanted to show you that this is the solution I was looking at. I went through and really tested this thoroughly on the hardware, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But it's really nice if you guys want to go down this path. You got your Docker. Now you can see I'm running quite a few containers here, lots of different things. It's really, really good the way they've put this together. So if you want to update your container, you don't have to go into a command shell and do it. You can actually just click a button here and say apply update, and it will go and download the additional information that you need, or the additional repositories and the files there, and download it into the container, and you're off to the races. So let me show you one. Let's pull this one up and see what happens. You get this nice little pop-up. You can see it's going to pull down the information associated with that container from the repository on GitHub, and there you go. It's saying these already exist, and this is pulling some new stuff out here, and bang, and it is done. Bang, and it's up to date now. And this is how you add a VM. You go in here and you add a VM, and these are the different VMs you can add. These are the Linux ones, these are the Windows ones, and there's a few custom ones you can also create if you want. Very easy to put together. Obviously, you need to make sure you download the ISO, and this is the app store I was telling you about. So this is what they've done. They collated all of these different containers into a directory system. You can see this is how they've ordered them, backups, and so on and so forth, plugins, productivity, security tools. And then when you go in there, it will show you all of these different containers, and all you got to do is say install. It will bring up this install screen, and then you can just put in all of these different parameters that you need to put in. Now, obviously, you need to check this out on the internet to make sure that you put in the right parameters. Some of these apps will require an SQL database, which you'll have to create independently and then specify the logins for that inside this particular template, and then it will create a Docker container for you. So that's it. And then you got your stats here. It just shows you some stats of the system, CPU load, memory, storage, network, etc. And then you got some tools here that help you manage the server. So you can see it's a very, very elegant environment. Really, really good. And it's been running pretty well on my little PC. But my PC is only a 6-core, i7 PC. It's not really designed for enterprise. It sits in my closet and it's great for what I do, but it's not really for enterprise. So the problems that I was facing was, one is the idea of all these backups, how long they take, restoring, security, the file system. Guys and gals, hope you enjoyed this video. It's really just showcasing the different tools out there if you guys want to build your home server. This is a great piece of software, so I highly recommend it for home use, not so much for enterprise though. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to this channel and get notified of any more geeky videos that I put up, because I put them up quite often, then please subscribe and I'll really appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, if you're an engineer and you're looking for work in the embedded space, then hit me up, lance@runtimerec.com, or check out our jobs and check out our website at www.runtimerec.com. And if you're a hiring manager, you're looking for help as well, hiring embedded engineers, which is our forte and our bread and butter, then again, please hit us up and we're more than happy to help you guys out. So give us a thumbs up if you like this video. If not, leave a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next one. Cheers.